Hi, Steve Hackney here, author and creator of the Business Growth System. What we're talking about is the 12 essentials of marketing your business. This is part 2. Part 2 is being different. You'll have heard this before, but making your business different from the competition, making it stand out, differentiating it from the competition is very, very important. If you remember back to part 1, we talked about not only the 12 essentials of marketing a business, which are going to help you grow, but we're also looking at the 12 essentials that will help you combat these nasty people here. These are price slashers. These are your competition that are slashing prices. We call this character here, this unsavoury character here, Slasher. And he represents the competition that are trying to cut prices to win more business. And obviously what we want to try and do is counter that. So either you're going to sell your products and services at higher prices, or you're going to compete much better with these guys because your marketing is far, far better than these guys. So you're going to win more business at the prices that you're currently charging. And differentiating your business is such an important element of that. Now, you've probably heard, as I've said, a number of people tell you that it's so important to differentiate. And after the target market, which was the first essential we talked about, it is the next most important thing. Many businesses have been founded by being different, and it's such an important element of your marketing to stand out in an overcrowded marketplace. Now, you've heard it before. Ask the question to yourself, do you really differentiate from the competition? And the likelihood is that you don't. You know, saying you're the best or saying that you provide the best service compared to everybody else doesn't really cut it. What you have to do is you have to differentiate yourself. And there's 10 to a dozen easy ways to differentiate yourselves. But what I want to talk about right now is something that will hopefully strike fear in you to force you, if you like, to differentiate your business. And there's 2 things that we want to talk about. The first thing is inertia. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Now, if you don't differentiate your business, what you find is that you create inertia in customers, whether they're businesses or consumers. And let me explain what I mean by that. There'll be numerous times when people are thinking of changing from one supplier to another. It doesn't matter what field you're in, whether you're selling business to business or business to consumer. The problem is, if they think that all businesses are the same, all businesses in your sector are the same, the challenge they've got is, well, even if they may be dissatisfied with an existing supplier, they don't change because they think everybody else is the same. Now, for us in the UK, and probably everywhere else in the world, to be fair, the way we think of the banks at the moment is most of us think that the banks are terrible institutions. The UK government has propped up most of them in the UK, but they still treat their customers really, really badly. Most of us get a poor deal from the banks, even though we're keeping all our money in them, but they treat customers really, really badly. And virtually every single person has a great example or 2 or 3 or 4 examples of why the banks are so poor. Thing is, we stay with our existing banks because we think all the other banks are the same. So this inertia is preventing you from gaining many, many more customers because you haven't differentiated. Now, if all of a sudden a bank is created that really does work hard to differentiate themselves from everybody else, they would clean up, because people want something different. They want something better. They want something quicker. They want people to serve them better, whatever it may be. They would clean up because they've differentiated themselves. So by not differentiating, what you're doing is you're creating this inertia which prevents people from coming to you because they think you're no different from their existing supplier. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to talk about is price. Now, we talked about in part 1 about the importance of being able to market your business better. Not just that, but to use marketing strategies that enable you to raise your prices, or at least compete at the same level but win more business. And actually, by not differentiating, that has a massive, major effect on your pricing. You see, if you differentiate, what that does is it adds value. And by adding value, what you're able to do there is you can charge more. You can actually differentiate yourselves so much that actually price becomes less of an issue, which means you can charge more. And you create what we call price elasticity in your prices or fees. So just literally by being different, you can create a business whereby you can charge more, which means you're going to make more money. Now, you may not have thought of differentiating your business as being that important in the past, but I can assure you, if you don't differentiate, you're going to create inertia and you're going to exist where pricing becomes much more of an issue, and you're actually competing more as a commodity rather than as a value-added product or service. So, make sure you spend the time to think about how to differentiate your business from the competition. That's the end of part 2. I look forward to seeing you at part 3.